Brooklyn. You actually have Nick. Nick is from Brooklyn.
Nick in Brooklyn, welcome to the show, Nick.
Mr. Galloway, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Glad to be talking to you.
I've heard you quite a few times on BAI. I've never called before. This is my first time, but I just wanted to bring up a couple of points with you. You said a few moments ago that I guess you'd vote for the lesser of the two evils, that being Obama.
Yeah.
Now, if any one of us, and I'm sure many of us have at this point, been acquainted with the Obama deception or the fall of the Republic, in that we will see that Obama has received a lot of money from Wall Street. Not only that, it's very interesting that as the last program that was on prior to yours, where they were talking about John Corzine, and he had no idea where all the billions went. Now he's sitting on top of the farm, and he bet the farm, as Nomi Prince said. And but you know, and now, so he's not accountable to anybody. This is going to go sitting on Obama's desk for him to make a decision. And I'll tell you what's not going to happen. He's not going to be indicted because the same people that funded Obama's administration are the Corzines. So he's no good for this country at all, because he cares nothing about what's taking place in terms of who's robbing the money, you know, who's robbing who. And so
all of that's fair. All of that's fair comment, Nick. But would Newt Gingrich be worse or better?
Newt Gingrich is an absolute globalist. He's horrible for this country as well. My vote goes to Ron Paul. Ron Paul is the only one. But you
won't have a chance to vote for Ron Paul. He won't be a candidate.
I'm sorry. No, that's absolutely untrue. If you look at the polls, the true polls.
I do look at the polls. I look at them every day. And at the risk of sounding like Mitt Romney, I'll give you a wager that Ron Paul will not be the Republican Party nominee.
He won't be He may not be the Republican Party nominee because of his very conservative stances on many of the positions, especially the foreign policy with Iran and so on, and bringing the troops home.
But that's my point. He won't be a nominee, Nick.
No, well, that's what a lot of people want to believe, and the media also want.
Well, you believe it. You believe it. You've just conceded it.
No. I said there's a possibility of that if people believe like what you're saying right now. But I don't believe that at all.
Nick, I'll bet you $10. $10 I'll give you.
$10. Well,
Ron Paul will not be.
I'm not going to take that wager because I know he will. I know he will. He will be a
You put your $10 into WBAI. I'll put my $10 in, and we'll talk again after the Republican primaries. Okay?
Okay, but at the end of the day, one last thing. At the end of the day, Obama is the worst choice, and you
just conceded that he isn't the worst choice. Gingrich is worse than him. You conceded that.
Both of them are both the same. Listen, it's a paradigm.
They're not both the same, man. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious, as John McEnroe used to say. You cannot say that President Gingrich is the same thing as President Obama. You're not paying attention.
What about Freddie and Fannie? Listen to me. What about Freddie and Fannie that this guy Gingrich took $40 million from, and then on top of that, Obama's getting funded by the same people from Wall Street? It's the same scenario, guys. It's the same scenario.
Many of the factors are the same, but not all of them. If you're one of the 1/3 of America in poverty or desperately close to it, I'm quoting from the Census Bureau, if you're one of the people on food stamps, don't tell me that Gingrich is the same as Obama, because that just doesn't make sense. Ife, give me a second. You tell me. 212-209-29.
Yes, you have Nick from Brooklyn.
Nick in Brooklyn, welcome back. Go ahead, sir.
Yep, good morning. I just want to ride on the coattails of the second caller. He brought up a couple of interesting points, a few of which I wanted to address with you. I realize that Obama, in the eyes of many, is the darling child that can do no wrong. But let's look at this man's track record for a minute, okay? Let's look at the fact that, and again, I go back to this. Let's look at the fact that under his administration, he's given away more money to the banks than any other president. Okay, $700 billion he gave away, which could have been given to the American people, but he didn't do that. He gave it away to his buddies. And then let's also look at the fact that under his administration, okay, the NDAA Act has been signed. Oh, of course, it's not going to be used against the American people. What the heck did he sign it for? You see, the bottom line here is that there is no other choice for this country except Ron Paul. His ideas, and as far as him, leaving the poor and the old people out in the cold, that's not going to happen. His track record doesn't speak that. His track record speaks that he cares about the people. So he will obviously bring and implement a system that will work for the American people. But let's talk about something. He wants to bring his troops. He will cut $1 trillion, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, $1 trillion from his campaign, from his, if he gets into the White House, he will cut $1 trillion. You better believe that he will do that. What do you think? So, I mean, the Social Security is broke as it is now.
Let's analyze him. But first, I'd need to say, Nick, you said that in the eyes of many people, Obama is a darling child who can do no wrong. I don't think there are many such people left anywhere in America. I really don't think that that's accurate. It may have been accurate 4 years ago. It definitely isn't accurate now. So
you keep promoting him that way. But
let's leave Obama to one side and talk about your darling child, Ron Paul, although he is 76 years old, which would make Ronald Reagan look like a stripling if he were to enter the White House. Answer me this. When Ron Paul sent out letters describing Martin Luther King Day as Hate Whitey Day, what do you think he meant by that?
Well, let me ask you this. I'll answer that question. I will answer that question. But let me ask you this. Which is worse? Which is worse? All we can grab is something that he did 20 years ago, which he himself states.
No, that's not all.
I'm answering
I've got more. No. Nick, I've got more. I just want you to answer that. What did he mean by that?
What did he mean? What did he mean by what?
What did he say when he said that Martin Luther King Day was Hate Whitey Day?
I love this. We're not going to address the actual issues. We're going to address something minor.
We are, Nick. But we've got to get past first base.
No, we don't.
There's a lot of black people listening to this show.
You have to understand something. The issue here is that we have
listening to this show, Nick.
Overseas that are dying in wars.
Don't dodge this.
That is the issue. That is the issue.
Don't dodge this. We're coming on to other points, but let's get to first base first. What did your darling child mean when he described MLK Day as Hate Whitey Day? What did he mean?
He explicitly said, under no uncertain terms, it was a robo-signing. Which is worse, Mr. Galloway, a letter that he says that was robo-signed?
All right, Nick. We've established that your darling child allowed a robo-signing of a letter from him referring to MLK as Hate Whitey Day, and we've secondly established that you, as his advocate on this show, are not prepared even to try and explain what that could conceivably have meant other than a base, racist appeal to the right wing in America, the base of right-wing racists in America. And you're not even prepared to deal with it. So let's deal with the second point that you're keen to get onto. Let's deal with the points that you're keen to get onto. Ron Paul wants to... Listen to me. Listen, Nick, I'm asking you a question. I'll let you come back and answer it.
Because we can't even prove that this man is a racist.
Nick, if you don't shut up, I'll have to move on to the next caller, because I want to speak, and then you can respond, okay?
All of our lives. Black, white, yellow, brown, I don't care.
I'll tell you
all
what,
of our lives.
Ife, I think we've had enough of Ron Paul's supporter, and many of the listeners will have found that illuminating, I think. Ife, who have we got on 7th?
You have